So I'm here in Boston, traveling again. Boston is my second favorite city on the East Coast, other than Miami. I guess Miami is not considered East Coast, even though technically it's on the East Coast of the United States. Boston's fun. I like Boston a lot. I'm here doing some business. I'm only here for a day or two. And I want to explain why I took a first-class ticket to fly to Boston, even though I hate spending money. So let's start there. I hate spending money. Some of you guys who know me well already know this. I don't like spending a lot of money. You can tell from this beautiful piece of shit hotel room, I don't like spending a lot of money. I have money. I have a high income. My net worth is okay, but I don't like spending money. I don't know why that is. It's just a personality thing. I'm not a minimalist. I don't go that far, but I don't like spending money. I grew up when I was young. I was very poor. Well, not poor, but very, very strapped financially. And I think that poor little kid is still inside me. So that's probably an aspect of why I don't like spending money. But I don't like spending money. Yet I bought a first class ticket to come out to Boston. Why did I do that? Well, I'll give you an example, a different scenario. So I have a standing appointment back where I live in the Portland area. I have to go there once a month or so. I have to drive across town. I live in the state of Washington, across the river north of Portland, and this appointment is south of Portland. So with traffic, it's about an hour drive one way to go to this appointment. So a while back, I was driving this appointment and then driving back, and I was killing 2 hours of my time. And I said, why am I doing this? This is fucking stupid. I should pay an Uber or a Lyft to drive me there and drive me back. So I did the pricing on it, and it cost me about $43 one way, I think, to use Uber or Lyft to drive me from my house to this appointment. So round trip, that's what, $85, $86, something like that. I said, okay, is $86 worth it for me to not waste 2 hours of my time, to murder 2 hours of my time driving in a car? Because driving in a car when you're doing the driving is non-productive time. You can listen to an audiobook, but that's about it, right? You can't really get work done. And I looked at the numbers, and the answer was yes. Yes. So now, as of about a year now, and that's one reason I'm going to get rid of my car soon, is it is worth it to me based on my business objectives and my schedule and my income to spend $85 to get back 2 hours of productivity in a day, because I make a lot more than that per hour if you divide that out. But even if I didn't, in terms of my business objectives, I would probably still do that. So this first class ticket from Portland, Oregon to Boston, I think it cost me an extra $400, maybe it's $500, something like that, $500-ish. And I hate spending that money. I hate it. I hate it. I hate spending $500. But when you fly coach versus flying first class, and you probably don't know this if you've never flown first class and needed to work the entire time, you are far more productive on a first class flight than you are on a coach flight. I'm not saying you're not productive at all on a coach flight, but when you're sitting like this, especially when you're me, I'm a big guy. So when you're sitting like this at your laptop and you can barely move, and it's so much effort to maintain certain positions. You're not very comfortable. You're not effective. Versus sitting in a first class seat where you have all this room. And if you're on an international first class flight, you can lean back and you have a whole desk to yourself. You are far more productive during the flight getting work done first class than you are coach. Now, that's just during the flight. So after the flight is over, oftentimes if it's a several hour flight on a coach flight, you're not trashed, but you're kind of worn out. You're not 100%. Your energy level is way down after a coach flight when you're sitting like this. I mean, I've done coach flights, many of them, flying to China and Hong Kong and Japan for like 15 hours or 15 hours. You're like this. You get off that plane, you're kind of fucked up. So this flight from the West Coast to East Coast is about 5.5 hours. And so if I had I know because I've done this, if I had a 5.5 hour coach flight, I'd be kind of worn out. And so getting to the hotel room, the productivity for the rest of the day would also be damaged. So if I spend that extra $400 or $500 on a first class flight, which I don't like spending, I hate spending money. I hate it, hate it, hate it. But if I do that, round trip, I get back 3-4 hours of productivity per day times 2. So 6, 7, 8 hours of productivity. So I had to ask myself, is it worth it to spend $400 or $500 to gain back 6, 7, 8 hours of productivity? Again, with my business objectives, with my schedule, with what I want for my life, and with my income, I make multiple six figures. It makes sense for me to do that. So I did that. And that's why I do that. And that's why I have a guy, sometimes I use Uber and Lyft to drive me to certain appointments. Even though I own a car, I will just get in the back seat, pull out my laptop, tether it to my phone, and I can work. And I can work for that hour instead of driving in a car for an hour. You have to understand the time value of money. Now, maybe if you make $30,000 a year and you have a corporate job, you don't have your own business, it probably wouldn't make sense to do that based not only on your income, but also based on the fact that how much work can you get done when you're not working? Will you get extra money if you work another 5 or 6 hours in the evening on your job when you're not working? You're probably not. When you have your own business and you can work whenever you want, it's a little different. So it depends on the scenario that you're in. But you have to understand the time value of money, even though it feels like you're spending more money. I'm actually not. I'm making money by that extra $400 or $500 on that first class flight, just like I'm making money when I pay Uber or Lyft to drive me to an hour appointment back. I'm actually making money on the deal long term. Think about that. Don't just be the miserly guy who doesn't like spending money. Go, I don't want to spend that money. Why would I spend that? I have a car. I can drive myself. That's not effective, not efficient. Money equals time. Time equals money.